Right, so scramble 1, follow along. Okay, so for this scramble, first you got to figure out which face you're going to do. So you're going to look at the easiest one. Now I see that there's an edge here that's all yellow and green, so I'm probably going to do either yellow or green face. Usually what you want to do is you want to get your 3 centers in, and you also want to plan 1 or 2 edges in the section. But I use LBL, so if you use L4E, you can use the same concepts, but you'll only be doing 2 edges instead of 3. This edge can back into here, like this. So I'm probably going to do yellow because of this. So I'll solve this tip first, because that's pretty easy to do. Do these, and then before moving this in, I want to get this center in. So we'll probably do like that, and then move that in. And then move the last one in like that, and we have this case on top. That's the first one. Second one, follow along. Right, so same here. We want to look for what center we're going to do. Yellow and blue looks promising because this edge is solved. What we're going to do here is yellow, and we'll move this center in first, maybe, and then this one in last, so that this edge doesn't get broken. And it's pretty easy to plan, because what we can do here is we move the center in like that and solve the tip, and then before we move this in, we can solve this. So then we have our V here. As I'm using LBL, I'll have to then solve the last one in. Although there are ways in certain cases like this where you can insert this differently to solve the rest of the cube, like this. Alright, third scramble. Okay, so in this one there's not any obvious blocks or solved edges. So what we're going to do here is find an edge that can easily be solved in one move. And then whatever colors those are, we can choose our face. I'm actually going to look at this edge. It can be solved in 2 moves, but that's alright. So I'm probably going to do yellow face here, because if I solve this like that into there, it's also going to solve this center. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to solve that edge, and then as you can see, we're going to move in this last center, and then from there we can solve our last edges like this. So solve that into the back, and solve this one into the back. So rotation lessens pretty fast. You can solve those 2 tips, and then do this last layer case and do the last tip. Fourth scramble, follow along. Okay, so this one, again, no obvious blocks. What I'm going to do here is the blue center, because I'm going to solve this edge into there, like this, and basically solve the center, move this edge in, and then I can just move this center in separately, and subtract this yellow edge, because then I can solve it immediately after I solve the 3 centers. That in, and then this one into the back, and it's solved. Okay, this one is quite lucky. We have like this huge bar here. Okay, so I'm obviously going to do red side here, because you got this big bar, and this solved red edge here as well. So basically, it's 1 move to doing a V. Since I use LBL, I have to solve this last edge as well. So I don't see anything that can make me skip the last layer, but I can influence it by inserting this differently, so I can get a better case. So what I'm going to do is solve our V, and that tip there, and then I'm going to insert this like this, and it gives us a not so bad case, but